Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest just won the Classic Physique division at the 2019 Tampa Pro Show. He's known as Big AB. Abner Logan, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you.
You're somewhat of a phenomenon. When I was pre-interviewing before the show, I was asking you about your history, and pretty much we figured out you didn't even realize this. You've never lost a show, more or less.
Yeah, I never really thought of it like that. Yeah, I counted the overalls. I guess I don't, but yeah, I guess I never really have.
You have an interesting background, and you're not the only one. It seems like I've interviewed a few people now that came from football. You had a very deep football background. Obviously, if you look at your physique, you got a very athletic-looking physique. And you were, trying to get into the NFL. You had some tryouts with the Bills. Tell us about your football, history leading up to the point where you stopped.
So I've been involved with athletics, my whole life, and actually, like, basketball was my first sport. That was, my passion. And then once I realized I wasn't going to be 6'6", I kind of did the next best thing that would get me into a college. Right. So I kind of started taking football seriously. So, I played, probably when I was like 9, 10 and stuff like that, but it never was anything serious. But it wasn't until I really got probably about sophomore year, junior year of high school where, I got really serious about football. And, kind of just, especially with, my puberty changing and stuff like that, started lifting seriously. And then, I got bigger. And, obviously I went to prep school, couple of prep schools, New Hampton Prep, and then I went to Dexter. I was fortunate enough to go and get a scholarship to play a linebacker at the University of Maryland. I was there for 3.5 years. Did a grad transfer year at UAlbany.
Yeah.
After that,
why would you leave in the last year of school?
Which one?
University of Maryland.
So I graduated early.
Oh.
So I graduated in 3.5 years, and actually. My junior year, I tore my ACL, ACL, MCL, lateral meniscus. And then that season that I was supposed to go ahead and play and start, the coach got fired, Randy Hudson got fired, and new coach, DJ Durkin, who's not there anymore, he took over. So because I was rehabbing, I wasn't able to go ahead and get a scholarship to return.
That sucks.
So it was like kind of the last second you can come to school here, but you're not going to be on scholarship.
So they pull you when you get hurt. They actually pull your scholarship from you.
Yeah, they're not really supposed to, but there's a bunch of loopholes and stuff like that. But because I graduated early, they don't have to honor it. So
because you don't usually football players do the 5-year plan.
Yeah, but there's like a loophole where if you graduate early, then it's no longer really valid. You don't have to go ahead and renew the scholarship.
Right, but why did you choose to graduate early? Usually guys will stay extra, at college just to get the extra year in, so you're a better player,
Yeah, because I was at school so much. Oh. It wasn't anything like I was trying to graduate.
Like early. You were just good at it. You liked school, yeah.
Yeah, I was like we were at school all the time. So because it's pretty much year round. Yeah. So when you're at school, you have to take classes.
Right.
So I just didn't, fail enough classes.
Right. Yeah, you were too good of a student compared to some of these football players.
I was too diligent. Yeah.
Well, what happened because you went to prep school. You were probably college was easier for you than most of these guys that barely got into college.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what the difference was. Well, that's what happens when you grow up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, next to Harvard University. That'd be pretty wild, right?
Yeah. My father is a teacher too for 37 years. So
oh my God.
Education was a serious thing.
What kind of teacher was your dad?
He was an English teacher and a basketball coach.
You know what? So was my dad for 37 years too. How's that for? What level did he teach at?
He taught freshmen and juniors.
High school. So did my dad. Yep. How funny is that? See, we have a connection here.
Yep.
That's why education in my father's household was very important. Now, I'm sure you probably had your English corrected many, many times growing up, right?
Oh, absolutely. It wasn't a paper turned in that wasn't proofread at least a couple times.
My dad corrected us, my sister and I, so much that when we would go out in public, we would be correcting like the tellers at the supermarket because we thought that that's what you did, right? Because that's what your father did to you all the time.
I never correct the way people talk. I like to go ahead and talk a certain way, and then I'll change it up when I went to private school, though.
That's right. That's right. Now, when you're hanging out in the streets, playing as a kid, and Harvard's around the corner, are you like hanging out on the campus all the time?
Well, I mean, no, not really, but the campus is pretty close.
Yeah.
Like I said, Cambridge is like a real diverse area where you get people from all different nationalities, and I mean that's just even going through the public school system in Cambridge. So I was really exposed to a lot. So I wasn't really on campus, but it was like a rock throw away.
Yeah, because I know if I was around there, I would be sneaking on the campus and going exploring and stuff like that. Especially as a kid. I mean, it's an amazing campus. I've been there before. I mean, it's just awesome.
There's a ton of schools in the area, just in general, in the Boston area. So I mean, there's Northeastern, MIT,
sure.
BU, BC. I mean, the list goes on. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a college town. I mean, and everyone. It seems to me, at least, everything's very young there. You don't see any old people there. It's all young.
It is. All old people went to Florida to vacation.
They go to Florida. Yeah. They get out of that cold. And I think they actually live where I live. I think they're all in Cape Coral and Fort Myers. All the people from Massachusetts, because every time I go to the store, I see New England Patriot fans everywhere. That's all they see.
Oh wow, that's right.
and I'm a New Yorker, so I'm not so keen on that. But you know how it works out. So anyway, so you go to college. How do you get a tryout with the Bills? How does that come about?
Just with an agent. I actually had a tryout first with the Patriots. Went through the rookie mini camp. Mm-hmm. Didn't make it, and then the following weekend I did a tryout with the Bills. They had like maybe about 35 or so people there, and they had signed 2 people. It was me and another linebacker.
Wow.
And then right before camp, they had released that guy, and so I was the only person to make it through camp. Made it all the way through camp, pretty much like the last day of cuts, and then I got cut.
Really? Now let me ask you a question. Why? Like, what would cause them to cut you? Like, what weren't you able to do maybe that someone else was able to do?
A lot of it really is business, So like, I mean, they'll have about say 90 or so men on the roster, and then they have to cut the roster down to 56. Mm-hmm. So you could imagine year after year, there's always a big pool of players that are just around it and waiting. And a lot of it varies based off, salary cap, because, football, they can't just, there's not, I mean, now they're starting to go ahead and do big contracts, but a lot of it is, based on, well, what are we able to afford?
Right.
So like there's, so there's a lot of, it's really a business, and a lot of it has to do with opportunity. If I was a linebacker, but they had 5 returning linebackers. They drafted 2 linebackers, and they brought in 3 vets. I was the only free agent. That's not
good for you. Yeah, that's not good for you.
It's not good odds. But but I competed, lasted all the way through. But you got cut, and I mean, business is business.
Now, explain to our viewers what I mean, I follow football, so I know, but explain what a linebacker's job is on the field, defensively speaking.
Linebacker, basically, you're the quarterback of the defense. You got to go ahead and align. You align everybody, and everybody, the strength of the defense to what tilt, any adjustments that are going to happen based off the offense. I mean, you're just quarterbacking the defense, pretty much.
Right. So you have to be intelligent to do that. You have to understand the nature of the game.
You got to understand. Yeah. You have to be able to decipher things, predict things. I mean, obviously, it comes with watching film. Certain alignments, they have certain tendencies that they run certain things. Even the pressure of the linemen are really heavy on their knuckles. They're probably going to be a run. Just little things you have to go ahead and reading your keys and stuff like that alert you to things.
You got to be very observant, in other words.
Absolutely.
Now, when you compare yourself, I mean, look, when I remember when I went in 1996, I went down to Maryland to help Kevin Lavroni out. And Kevin, it was 6 weeks out from the Arnold. I was helping him with the show, and I said, "Let me see what you look like." And I was 315 pounds at the time. I was big, really big. He took his shirt off. I wanted to quit. I said, I might as well just quit bodybuilding. So I'll never beat this. This is unbelievable. When you look at the linebackers who are starting on the Buffalo Bills, I mean, was there a discrepancy between you and them like that in your mind? Like, holy shit, these guys are just like too fast, too good for me. Or did you think, hey, I could compete with these guys?
I thought I can compete with these guys. Okay. The only thing that I would say the difference between like the level of ball as you go up is that everything just gets faster.
Yeah.
when I mean you played D1 at the highest level, so you see big guys. I mean, you get to NFL, the guys are a little bit bigger, but everyone is playing fast and they process the information a lot faster. So the better you're able to adjust to that, the better you can able to play, and you can adapt to their system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like being a linebacker. It's a lot of thinking, and it's a lot of information to process constantly.
And you got a lot of pressure on you to learn the system quickly. So if you don't pick things up fast, you might get cut, and you might really be good enough. You just didn't get enough time to play.
Don't understand how fast you'll be cut. People don't. They have no idea how. I mean, we could be sitting in a meeting, and someone will call you out, call them outside, and the meeting's over. 10 minutes later, their whole locker is just gone.
Really?
They are erased from memory.
Oh my God!
I've seen it happen. And as a rookie free agent, you wasn't drafted. You didn't get any money.
Yeah.
You don't really hold any value.
Sure.
And then anybody can get cut at any time.
Right.
So it's real high anxiety atmosphere. So I mean,
until you make it, I imagine it is very high pressure too. So. Yeah. So you get into bodybuilding. You say, you know what? You're at the gym. You're personal training people. You get introduced to the right person, and they say, "Hey, you'd be a good person to compete." Did you think you can do well? First of all, how tall are you again?
I'm 6'1" and some change.
Okay, so that's on the taller side to be a good bodybuilder. But for classic physique, that's almost like you were made for that division.
So it would seem, yes.
Yeah. So it would seem, right. What was the first show that you did, and were you nervous up there?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was the Powerhouse Classic in New Haven, and that was the first time I've actually dieted it, and I still, to this day, say that the diet is the hardest part of, bodybuilding, because as an athlete, I mean, I just ate whatever I want.
Yeah, of course.
It was because we ran so much in practice. All you had to do was eat.
Yeah.
And the lifting part, I mean, I always loved to train hard.
Sure.
But the hardest part was the dieting, and I mean, I was definitely nervous when I got on stage. And I could see, I have the pictures from show to show, and I can go ahead and see how I've gotten more confident and got more relaxed doing the poses, so on and so forth. But the same thing just happens with repetition and time.
Who helped you pose? Was Kenny helping you with posing up there?
No, actually, my coach, Justin Randall, actually,
Oh, Justin. We love Justin. Yeah. Justin's one of my good friends, yeah.
He actually, he helped me with my poses initially. And then as I kind of got more comfortable, I would say probably after Nationals.
Yeah.
I kind of just kind of critiqued myself, picked up little things from other competitors.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked on it like that.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? You did the New Haven Classic there, or the Gold's Classic. You won that. Or Powerhouse Classic, excuse me. You won that. Yep. You went to the Jay Cutler. You won your class there. And then you went to Nationals and won your class. I mean, it's almost like you must think that this sport is easy when you see stuff like that. No one does that. No one does that.
I know. And my coach is like, I hope you know, no one does this. This is, people have been working for years for this. And I mean, trust me, I don't think it's easy at all, and as I learned, I understand the process of how the body changes and, the vision of what the judges and everything was looking for. But, I just feel like I was just really focused on what I was actually, how I was training. Yeah. For my first show, they said that, you need to bring up your back, you need to bring this up, you need to bring that up. And that's kind of just what I focused on from, I guess from my first show to my second show, and then so on and so forth.
Right. Now, when you were up there, we're looking at some footage from the Nationals. When you were up there at Nationals, did you know you were going to win? Did you have a pretty good idea, or were you not sure of it?
No, before we started Nationals, I asked Justin. I was like, I'm really not into wasting my time, because I was like, look, this diet is too hard. I was like, Justin, if you don't think I have something to possibly win, tell me right now, and I'm not even going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll just wait. He was like, no. I was like, you have a good shot. I was like, all right, well, let's do it. So, but when I got there, those dudes were good. There was a dude, Nate, who started off in the middle, dude with the dreads, really, really big back. He was good conditioning. Everyone up there I was like, wow, this is definitely not gonna be easy. So at no point I thought it was easy, but I mean, I don't know. I think once again, the reason I won that was because when you turn me around, you can see the details in my hamstring and glutes.
Yeah. Yeah, you were in great condition, without a doubt.
I personally think I was even better condition for that show than I was for Tampa.
Really? So, all right. So you get your pro card at the Nationals, and then you and Justin sit down and say, okay, we're going to do Tampa for the first pro show. Why did you pick that show? Because you wanted to maybe try to get a qualifier right before the Olympia?
No, actually Justin wanted me to do New York. But I didn't want to do that because I was like, one, I didn't win the overall for Nationals.
Right.
So if I didn't win the overall, clearly there's some things that I need to go ahead and work on. So right. and still I haven't had an off season. I was like, if I'm going to do this, let me try and grow. And my whole thing is if I'm going to go ahead and step on stage again, I want to go ahead and bring something different. I want to bring something improved. I don't just want to be like, oh, you're just showing up again. Like I said, it's too hard. I'm not doing it to waste my time. So I was like, all right, well, what's a show that we could do that's...
You're treating it like the NFL already. Like, like most guys just want to be up there and say I competed. You're like, nah. If I can't win, if I can't be on the Bills, starting team, I really don't want to do this,
I mean, it's just like it's like I don't know, like it creates a fire because
right,
it's like if you're not competing to win, then what are you doing?
Right, but some people don't have that ability to, as quickly as you did, get to that level. You just happen to have that ability,
Oh, I get that, but I mean, I got that because I had like a lot of size and stuff like that from the football.
Yeah.
I was fortunate in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I want complete transparency from my coach, and then he gives me it.
Yeah. Now, when you got up on stage in Tampa. And you got off after prejudging. Obviously, it was a good belief that you were going to win, just the way they had you positioned in the middle there. Were you pretty flabbergasted that you did so well at the pro level, right off the bat in your first show?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, it doesn't happen. Really, you just keep on winning. Yeah. Especially as your pro qualifier. I mean, there was some people there that I thought, oh my phone. There were some people there that I thought, were, really, really good. Ricky, I thought he, obviously everything.
Ricky Moten's great. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, really, really big. He looked really stocky too. Really, really nice physique. Logan Franklin came in really, really conditioned. Everyone brought their, specific, I guess, thing to the table that, could, I guess, separate them from the pack. But I know that for me, I don't have necessarily the biggest, maybe not the biggest legs or not the biggest back or anything like that. But from how I understand, the most complete person wins and the most balanced person, So that's why I just try to go ahead and just cater to that. And
your conditioning was great as well. Now, did you qualify for the Olympia because of this? Because I think in men's physique now you have to have points, right?
I did qualify for the Olympia.
You did? Okay, good. So you're going to be in the Olympia come September.
Absolutely.
First, you haven't even been competing a whole year yet, and you're already going to the Olympia.
It's crazy. It's overwhelming. I'm telling my friends, I'm like, dude, it's like my life is like changing like right now. Like it's really nuts. It's just, I'm just thankful. And obviously I was kind of I guess a little bit more advanced than most people because I've been lifting for so long. Mm-hmm. But with the guidance of what I need to go ahead and build on to create like a competitive bodybuilder, a classic physique competitor, I think I would be, I would be clueless.
Now you're 26 years old. What is for your height? What is the maximum you can weigh on stage?
240.
And what do you weigh on stage?
Well, I weighed in at 239.2.
Oh, so you're very close to the limit right now.
Yeah, like I weighed in at 239.2. Yeah.
I mean, so you could probably gain 5 pounds and still make the weight, of course, by sucking down. But you don't have that much left to put on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I have a good amount. I think that, like I said, still we could push the conditioning. Like I did a 10-week prep for Tampa. Mm-hmm. So I think if maybe if I did like maybe a 12 or a 15, or maybe if we just did a couple things that maybe I'd come in a little bit tighter. Like the conditioning was good, but like I said, I think in nationals it was a lot better.
Yeah.
Or not a lot better. I just thought it was better. But I mean, yeah, I have some room to grow.
You got 5 more weeks though, so there you go.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Well, best of luck in your Olympia prep leading up to the show. Look, you're undefeated right now, so I guess that means you have to go to the Olympia and win.
Hey,
don't want to ruin the streak.
That's what we're trying to do. Make someone denial.
Big AB, Abner Logan. Congratulations on the big win.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.